Dis After Dark Podcast is sponsored by Unofficial.com, the home of Halloween Horror Nights news and rumors all year round. Find us on the web at www.hhnunofficial.com. So stop the fog machines and clear the cobwebs. It's time for another episode of the podcast that's nearly the same as all the others.
Wendy Presser at Magical Journeys Travel is proud to be a sponsor of the After Dark Podcast Network. Whether you've been to Disney 1 or 100 times, there's still lots of planning involved. Let Wendy be the one on at midnight when your window opens to get that Be Our Guest reservation or that covers with Anna and Elsa fastpass for your own princess. Mention that you heard this ad on one of our podcasts and get $25 off your deposit with any trip package. Be sure to ask about her generous onboard credits for Disney Cruise Lines as well. Find her on Twitter at WP Magic Journeys or WPMagicJourneys.com.
Warning. This show contains childish adult content and is intended for immature, mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised. The views spoken are ours and ours alone, not those of any other bugger. If you're easily offended, we strongly suggest finding another podcast. Everybody neat and pretty, then on with the show.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Dis After Dark? It's Dis After Dark tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get so confused, we've got so many shows. I am Nick, and joining us this week, well, you might be able to hear Flynn there growling because I just disturbed his spot, but
Put your knob away.
we have got, as you can hear, Mr. Craig Lucas.
Wishes!
Kevin, wait for your turn. Mr. Paul Washington.
Hello.
No! Oh,
Wishes!
I've already done it.
Mr.
Wish
Chris
you'll
Ripley.
never.
Why, aye, man. Oh, no, wait. Wishes.
And back to me. Wishes!
Wishes!
For tonight is the night that four become one, as the Spice Girls once song. Son, did you know that song was about safe sex?
Yeah.
To become one. I didn't realise. Like, it's all about using condoms. It's interesting fact.
Yeah.
We are for becoming one tonight because we're recording this the night that the last ever performance of Wishes is taking part in Walt Disney World in the Magic Kingdom, and it's all a bit gloomy, isn't it? Really, I think.
Yeah.
It's a sad
Yeah.
day. It's a sad day.
Sad day.
It's. I mean, when did Wishes start? Was it 2000?
2003.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a good old run, isn't it? 14 years. No,
People have been born and people have died.
Yes, but that's quite true of a lot of things. But it's been there for a long old time, and I think we've all got memories of seeing that for various things. But we'll get into that a bit later on. This would not be an episode of Dis After Dark if we didn't ask what everybody's drinking. So, Craig, what are you drinking?
Sweet amber nectar sent from not Australia, because that's amber nectar, across the pond, refreshing, titillating, scintillating, always beautiful Bud Light.
How's that sponsorship deal going?
I'm still waiting to hear back from them.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, Bud Light.
Pull your finger out, boys. Mr. Ripley, we'll go with you next.
Well, I can't top that. I am also drinking the American Amber Nectar of Bud Light.
The American Amber Nectar. That should be the new slogan, of course, then, if it is. Royalties, please. Mr. Paul Washington.
Sticking to my usual, nice orange juice.
It's not always your usual.
No, it has been for the last couple, though.
That is true. That is true. I have gone for something different. I have got I've been waiting to drink this, actually. Luckily, it's still ice cold. I've got a Ignis Black Forest vodka.
Who?
With lemonade. So, chin chin.
Chin chin.
To wishes.
That's quite nice. It's some supposedly designer vodka from Lidl's, about 15 quid. I'm just reading it. It was developed by a Michelin star chef. He was Hessen Blumenthal.
Oh, sorry. Lee's just ringing me. Whoa. Still waiting.
Oh,
Who was that ringing you, Craig?
Barry.
Gary. Oh, right.
No, Barry.
Barry.
Yeah.
Barry.
Barry Stott. From Donald and Davy Stott. Oh dear. Wrong number.
That does remind me of something. Anyway, yes. So, welcome to Dis After Dark. Has there been much news this week?
I haven't been. I've watched the Avatar stuff. And it's very, very samey to the rest of Animal Kingdom.
Whoa. Right, hang on. Let's stop and go back.
What?
Let's go back about, 2-3 shows ago?
Yeah.
Yeah? Potter Beater. No, what was it? You called it?
A Destroyer of Potter.
Destroyer of Potter.
Yeah. It still will crush Potter.
For God's sake.
Look, it looks exactly the same as Animal Kingdom, but it was always going to, wasn't it? Theming-wise, it's absolutely breathtaking. And that boat ride is groundbreakingly stunning. And when they come out with a new drink, which they have done, and big balls that you can eat, it's honest to God, trust me.
I heard that the boat ride, they play a song which talks about it's a small navvy after all. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I did wonder. I don't know if Dick had any hand in that, Dickie Sherman, but sounds familiar. I know what you're saying, and I mean, the thing is, I think it should really be in keeping with Animal Kingdom, theming-wise. Because that's where it is, surely.
Yeah, it's perfect. It fits in. It's absolutely amazing.
I mean, I've seen the floaty mountains, and they look pretty damn impressive. It looks good. It looks good. I'm more intrigued by this second attraction. Now, before we talk about the second attraction, one thing that people aren't getting quite excited about is the merchandise. Have you seen the merchandise?
I'm going to buy a sex tail. I'm going to hook up with Chris Ripley.
I was thinking...
Well, you're not allowed to wear it to Halloween Horror Nights.
Do you want to be in my gang?
Now then.
That's just ignorance, that is. That's just ignorance.
Where's my blanket? I was thinking more about the animatronic dragons. Have you seen these?
Yeah, $50, $60.
Yeah.
But you don't buy them, do you? Or do you hire them?
No, you buy them.
You buy them, they go on your shoulder, and you've got a tube that runs down your back so you can manipulate them.
I don't even know where to start with that. But I think that's going to be the popular merchandise bits from Avatar, more than the sex towels. Woo! Which I don't know, they might take off. I don't know, but I don't think personally. Look, I mean, the thing is, towels, any kind of towels, it just cause trouble. Because if you move too quickly, you're going to knock something over.
Or get it caught in the monorail door.
Oh, and no one wants that to happen. So,
Or a monkey could pull the head off it, and you have to go and get the head put back on your tail.
I've lost that reference.
You're in Animal Kingdom. You waving your tail at the monkeys. One of the monkeys like that. I want a bit of that.
What Davy Jones is going to come bounding over and...
I was going to say when they're walking down the street.
Here
we come.
Actually, I just picked the only monkey that's dead. I think I did. Isn't Davy Jones the one that's dead?
Who's the one who? What's the one who invented Tipex?
Dolan's, wasn't it?
No, the tall, skinny one.
Peter Took.
No, the other one.
Oh, I don't know the other one.
They're the only three that people know, don't they?
I don't know the last one. Gene Simmons.
Yeah.
Oh God! Speaking of which, we watched a film the other night called Why Him, which stars Walter White and Green Goblin's son out of Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man trilogy. And at the end of the film, there's a lot of Kiss references throughout. And at the end of the film, Gene and Paul Stanley make an appearance, and man, it was quite embarrassing.
Did he stick his tongue out?
Yeah, he did stick his tongue out, which he has to, really. I'm not against that. You know, me and Gene have both got a long tongue, and it's quite nice to see a fellow long tonguer. But he's knocking on 70's door, isn't he? You know?
Knock, knock, knocking on 70's door. Aye, 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 aye. Like that.
Yeah. I mean, Kiss are playing the O2 in a few weeks. I wanted to go originally, but I'm glad I didn't buy a ticket now. That and now about 70 quid.
They're charging £1 for every year he's been on the planet.
Quite clearly. I'll just go back to Vegas and play mini Kiss golf again. That was fun. Anyway, back on topic. So there's two attractions that advertise, we've said, and we've already talked about the boat ride. But Mr. Ripley, you brought to my attention the second attraction. Because apparently there's a ridiculous height limit on it.
Well, it's just a rumour. I don't know if it's true or not. But supposedly, if you're over 6 foot tall, you can't fit on the ride.
Well, the tracker was on it the other day, and he's about 6'4", 3".
No, I don't think he's that tall.
The video's had on 7 inches.
Well, I know Adam the Woo's 6'4", and he looks as a little short fat fella.
Oh.
And obviously, Tim Tracker, I'm sure, is taller than him.
So do we know what the second... From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, is this second attraction where you kind of straddle a dragon hybrid bike thing and wear 3D glasses?
Yeah.
So basically,
it's not VR, is it? It's not VR. It's 3D glasses.
No.
Tim and Jen likened it to Soaring 2.0.
Yeah, definitely. And it propels you out. So you sit on your bike thing, which is a flying thing, and then it propels you out into the screen arena, like in Soaring. So if you look round left and right and back, you will see all the other people flying as well, and you'll see the lockers behind you. So the trick is to not look back, basically.
Yeah, quite clearly.
It's a bit like Soaring, don't look up.
Exactly.
True. I just think with I know VR is a big thing at theme parks at the moment in terms of roller coasters. They're kind of retrofitting roller coasters with VR headsets and stuff like that. But I would have thought that would have been a prime ride to do so, because like you say, if you look around to your left or right or behind you, you're very aware you're not in that world. Whilst if you're wearing a VR headset, if you look, left or right, then you would see the people next to you riding on dragons.
Yeah, you can see the people in the screen. They're represented by other dragons all flying around you.
Yeah, that's what. But the thing is, when you're looking at those on the screen, you're seeing them as the characters in the footage. But if you actually look to your right, you would see You know, if we were on it together, Craig, I would look next to me, I'd see a big Scouse lummox. And, you know, you would see a short southern softie if you look the other way. Whilst if you was wearing a VR headset, if I turned to look at you, I would see you as an avatar, as a Navi. Do you see what I mean?
Oh, yeah, but I think they weren't overwhelmed by it, the trackers, were they, Paul?
No, they really, and we've said recently they've been very positive about everything, but they were kind of middle ground on this.
Yeah,
I think compared to the rest of the land, I think they were a bit disappointed in it.
Yeah, that come across.
And Tim even said that he preferred the boat ride.
Wow.
Blimey.
And from what I can gather, they're both quite slow loaders. And which one was it where they walk through the queue line and it's got space for 6 hours worth of people?
What?
I think that was the flight of the Navi.
So it's going to be a slow loader, that.
But why?
6 hours of queuing. Have they got toilets and places to eat and drink? Americans haven't got the muscles to stand for 6 hours.
That's probably true, actually.
You've seen that film in space where they're all on, where Eve is going like that all the time.
Oh, Jason X.
Yeah.
That's the only movie in space I know.
You know, that's what they're doing, Americans. They'll all be kicking off, freaking snarling at each other.
Yeah, I mean, I still, don't get me wrong, I still want to see it, and I still want to go. I'd still want to go there, but you know, I think my initial concerns were probably correct, and it's probably not going to be the great e-ticket land that it really needs. Let's be honest, like Animal Kingdom, more than any other park, needed a shot in the arm. You know,
Yeah.
Hollywood Studios, before they started, you know, taking everything down, you know, preparing stuff for Star Wars Land, that still had a lot of good attractions in it. But Animal Kingdom really doesn't have that many great attractions. So that was a land that needed that injection more than any other land. And I think if that's the best they've got to offer, 2 attractions and some scenery, it's still gonna, you know, be a bit lackluster.
I think they should have just gone ahead and built Beastly Kingdom.
I watched a video about Beastly Kingdom the other day. I knew a little bit about it, and I can't remember. I think it was like Yesterday Land or something. One of those websites done like a YouTube video about it, and they showed some footage of like the designs and bits and pieces like that of what Beastly Kingdom was going to be. And obviously, a lot of that inspiration was taken over to Islands of Adventure, but completely agree. I think they really missed a trick with that, and I wish that they had
Wishes.
But no, I'd wish they'd done that. I wish they'd gone down that route, and I kind of get why they didn't, but even so, you know.
The thing is, right, they still could.
Well, they can't do Beastly Kingdom, can they?
Why can't they? Animal Kingdom is by no means landlocked. They just stick another land on it.
Yeah, but they'd be putting in a land which they, you know, have kind of let. I know Universal have kind of scrapped that concept now, but even so, you know.
There's nothing more disappointing, right, than real animals.
What do you mean?
Well, what does a fucking banana do? What does a monkey do?
Exactly, what does a banana do?
It just gets eaten by monkeys. Right?
Right.
Or humans. Other forms of mammal are available. But,
yeah,
you know, I don't get all these people who go on that safari, Kilimanjaro safari, and they're sobbing and they're holding each other and it's a life-changing experience. No, it's not.
Just driving through a zoo.
It's driving through a field, and at the back of the field is a drugged up, delusional, hallucinogenic giraffe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lee Malaby. I'm glad you said giraffe.
We'll give
You know-
him another mention later.
Yeah.
And in this field is basically a horse with a horn on it. Or my sister-in-law, we went through one bit, and my sister-in-law goes, she's a classic. You see what she said on Strike. Is that a unicorn? Yes, it is. It's next to the mermaid.
I mean, I don't know. I like the safari mainly because I do like animals. I love going to zoos. I love seeing animals. The problem with the layout they have is because it's supposed to be a savanna of sorts, is that you can go on that safari sometimes and hardly see anything.
So for me, bulldoze the savannah, turn it into concrete pens with cages, and put all the animals in a small cage so that they can't hide, and that you can look at them and get close enough to maybe poke and prod them.
Do you not think, though, eventually, with all this sort of PC culture and what's happened to SeaWorld, that eventually there won't be any zoos?
Well, I don't know.
Disney will have to get rid of the animals.
See, it's an odd one because I think they'll always have to have zoos, mainly because, and I mean, different countries are different, but obviously many zoos, or nearly all the zoos in the UK, are for conservation. A lot of the big zoos are for conservation. You do, of course, get zoos that aren't for conservation, and that's a global problem. But generally, they're there to make sure that animals survive and that we get more animals, because if you look at what's happening with certain types of animals across the world, they're dying out because they're being hunted, they're not able to survive in conditions. Zoos give them that opportunity to do so. That was always, I thought, the thing with SeaWorld.
Yeah, but look what SeaWorld are doing now.
No, I
After
agreed.
Tillicum died, you can get a Shamu burger now, dead cheap.
But the thing is that it's much easier to do that. Like, the problem with SeaWorld is that they were doing it they were trying to do all this in a small space, small that it needs to be. Whales and dolphins need big tanks, and they didn't have that. Their facilities were severely lacking. Had they focused more on that than the entertainment side of things and gave them bigger pens, then they would probably still be doing what they were doing, but they didn't. They were effectively mistreating the animals.
But if you go too big on the pens, then the killer whale's at the back. When you walk in, you can't see it. So what's the point?
That's
I was going to say, surely this is what The Rock's doing to the Jungle Cruise, isn't he? Isn't he putting real animals in it?
That's what he's going to do for his new movie Rampage as well.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know. I think Disney may do. I think eventually we might see that they stop doing that, because the thing is, the creatures they have in Animal Kingdom are generally not found in America, are they? They're found in Africa and countries like that, and so it's not really the correct environment. They try and make the environment for them, and the climate is fairly similar, luckily, but those animals aren't really native, so therefore it's not the same kind of thing. And I don't think I don't know what they are doing with the animals. I don't know if they do conservation with the animals, but you don't hear of many births or anything like that at Animal Kingdom. So I don't know if they're actually, breeding the animals for conservation purposes. And if they're not doing that, what is the point? I do kind of see what you mean there, Craig.
Okay,
love
right.
animals.
Take Beastly Kingdom off the table, and I'm going to put on the table, this is at the other side of Animal Kingdom, the Moon of Endor.
Ooh, now you're talking.
But see, that's what they should have done. Look, we all know that if 6 months before the announcement, if they knew what's going to happen in Lucasfilm, blah 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 blah, we would be seeing a Star Wars land in Animal Kingdom, and it would have to be Endor. It would have to be Endor. it would have been perfect for it. I don't think now we will see that. Even if Star Wars Land is a massive success, which I do think it will be, and they want to do more, I can't see them adding Endor to Animal Kingdom when they've got Avatar. Because it's two movie franchises and it doesn't work in the park.
I think it will.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is with Disney, they've got all of these options now, but Universal is setting themselves up with, obviously, Jimmy Fallon, Fast and the Furious,
You're going to say Jimmy,
Mario.
Not Jimmy, yes. No, not Jimmy.
So...
The Tonight Show with Jimmy Savile.
No. Who wants to come in my car?
So, I've lost my train of thought now. So with Universal setting their stall out for those, is the boot on the other foot now that actually Disney, with its Star Wars availability now, is that the one that's going to be driving the most traffic? And that, in effect, could be the Potter killer.
Wishes.
Yeah. I would like to think yes, personally, but I don't. I just don't. I don't know if they're that smart to do so. The thing is, I know it makes sense. You know it makes sense. We all know it makes sense. But that doesn't mean that that's going to correlate, does it? So whilst I think it would be perfect for them to do that, I'm just not convinced that they actually will. Did you just do me?
That was Adam Sultana again. Oh, hey, that was me.
Adam Sultana.
I've shit on your podcast.
He name checked me on Grim Grinning Host last week, and because I wasn't expecting it, I messaged him afterwards and said that it made my week. I felt like a celebrity.
Oh.
What a sad bastard. Yeah, I mean, well, let's see. I mean, the thing is, like, you know, we're talking about Pandora as if it's flopped. It hasn't. It's not even opened yet. And when's Mr. D going there? Can you remember when he's going there?
Next week sometime, I think.
Okay. So we'll have somebody who's actually been there talking about it, you know, having experienced it next week. So we'll get a better idea then. But
because the reason I say that is I've been on the Fast and Furious ride in Hollywood, and it is absolute crap.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that they've delayed it again suggests that they are reworking that. They've got to rework it.
God, they've got to do something. It is awful.
I think they're taking the rock out of it.
I think they're putting more rock in.
Yeah, why do you think they're taking the rock out?
And this rock is just right.
Because what, Paul?
Because he's defected to the other side. He's working for Disney now.
Oh, but the thing is, what's funny about that is, of course, The Rock was in that building, wasn't he?
He was.
He was part of Disaster.
Yeah.
Oh.
The last couple of years of operation. I only just remembered that.
Yeah, he was in that footage, wasn't he, on the tram?
Yeah, Christopher Walken was the director, wasn't he? And The Rock was the star of the film.
The star of the film, yeah.
Yeah. So it's quite interesting that he's going to be in the same show building. But because they've taken over Beetlejuice and Disaster, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
So, I mean, how big was the Hollywood attraction? Because it looked to me like it was quite a small bit of...
It's just a massive shed that you drive through. I mean, it's no bigger than the Kong drive-through shed.
Yeah.
It's like Newcastle, that.
I mean, it is literally a shed.
So
there's no theming at all outside.
No semen. What?
Exactly.
Oh, theming. Sorry. Again, hell.
So I would think, you know, so it's that space now is going to be bigger than what they had in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'd say it's bigger. Yeah.
So they have got the scope now to make that a bigger ride, and obviously a better ride, because, you know, we've talked before, that footage is diabolical. When I watched it, do you know what it reminded me of? I don't know if anyone remembers this, but does anyone remember that video game Pit Fighter?
No.
So, like, Street Fighter was a massive game, wasn't it? In like the early
Yeah.
90s. And so everyone started making video games about fighting, and they'd get more and more violent. And then we had Mortal Kombat, which used digitized actors. And Pit Fighter was the game just before Mortal Kombat. So it was digitized, but it was even worse graphics than Mortal Kombat. And that's what it reminded me of. And I was just like, my God, like, the Fast and Furious is quite a big, franchise. Does anyone know where it ranks now in terms of franchise?
Ooh. Can we look it up?
I'm sure it's in like the top 10 or something franchises.
With 7 films, it must be in the. I'd say it's probably in the top 5.
I'm on it. Oh no.
Good old box office mojo.
Wishes. Can't complain. Wishes. Come back again.
It is
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, that's Shrek.
Oh.
It's not in the.
Hold on, we'll have a musical interlude. Let me just find something.
The franchises worldwide gross is Star Wars, Avatar, Jurassic Park, Avengers, Marvel.
What in the hell is that?
Sorry, what?
It's 10th.
It's 10th.
Yeah, Marvel is number 1.
What amazes me with that is that you listed off Marvel, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at the wrong list. It is Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter, Batman, James Bond, X-Men, Middle Earth, Spider-Man, Fast and the Furious.
Okay, no, because I was going to say, I didn't hear James Bond, and I thought, although they're not as big hits as those films, there's 24 James Bond films. That's not in that top 10. That's ridiculous. Yeah, what's funny about that, Craig, as well, is that they still play that American hockey games when the goals scored.
Nice.
All the time. So the thing is, it's in the top 10 franchise of all time. That deserves a better ride than that piece of shit that they've installed in Hollywood. Let's be honest.
It's like the digital effects in Total Recall.
No, this is like Total Recall now. It's better than that.
It's better than that, yeah.
They're better than that. But yeah, the fact. I mean, is it delayed until 2019 now?
What, the ride?
Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it? Is it, or 2018? 2019. Yeah.
Well, they built Avatar quicker than that.
Well, not really. It took them long enough to break ground. And speaking of breaking ground, Craig, we got a little newsy, didn't we? In the old email inbox.
Yeah.
He remembers.
Craig, we get like about 1 email a month.
Yeah.
And you posted it tonight in the group.
Oh, that.
Fucking hell. I've already mentioned breaking ground. So,
well,
Mr. Lucas,
you
emailed the creators of the next big theme park, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I just got it now! We get 1 email a month!
It's Bud Light. It's doing it. It's ruining our brains.
God.
Yes, I did. Several weeks ago now, I emailed whatever it's called.
Paramount
Can't remember.
Park. It's going to be the Paramount Park, isn't it?
The Paramount Park, yeah. And he didn't get back to me until about 2 days ago. And they're not breaking ground. They're not planning on getting permission to break ground until summer of 2019. So all that bull that it was going to be out and built by 2020, it isn't happening, is it?
Oh, I mean, they won't even be breaking ground till 2020.
No.
That's what amazed me with that email, is the fact that all the news stories that we've seen have said it's 2020. It's going to be 2020 that it opens,
Yeah.
and then lo and behold,
We would suggest you get back in touch following a decision on the application. So there you go, which will likely be in mid-2019. So the London Paramount Park will not be opening until at least 2022.
no podcast is revealing that news because no podcast has asked the questions, the hard questions that we ask at Dis After Dark and the After Dark Podcast Network. That's a world exclusive for everyone listening. For the few that can.
And no one cares.
Well, the few that do.
Hey, Malaby.
Well, the few that listen.
UOP got picked up when Jim Hill started going about Potter. We might get picked up. We might be in the Inquirer.
Hey, Digital Spy. Hello. Pick us up, please. I mean, I still think. Well, I'd like it. I would still like it to happen because I think more competition is good. Not just for the UK, but also Europe. Especially with Brexit coming along as well, I think it could help. But the fact that they're still talking about the fact it's going to open in 2020, and that was kind of the reveal, is I think quite shocking. So yeah.
With Brexit, will we be allowed to go back to Disneyland Paris?
No, we will be banned. We will be banned. We will have to do the opposite of what's been happening in Calais, and we'll be having to jump on lorries and hide in cars this side of the river, just so we can get over to France.
I was going to say, well, we need to change our annual passports
Yes.
to a different colour.
Possibly. Quite possibly.
Yellow. Get yellow.
But no, I mean, I'd still like it to happen. I'm still interested, to be honest, in anything else because it seems like a bit of a hodgepodge. I think we've talked about the licenses that they've mentioned on here, and Sherlock was mentioned, Star Trek was mentioned, Top Gear was mentioned,
Doctor Who
was mentioned.
Yeah.
So it could be. If it goes for it, could be interesting, but not.
When we interviewed Mike Aiello on ScareZone, we asked him, I don't know if it was on air or not, but we asked him which property would you love to get, but you'll never get, and he said it was Doctor Who. So
for Halloween Horror Nights or for Universal?
Well, I think we were talking about Halloween Horror Nights, but I think it might have been just in general. So.
Yeah, I can't believe Doctor Who, because you can buy Doctor Who merchandise in Universal, can't you?
Can you?
I've seen it.
Blimey.
Someone back me up.
Seen it in Epcot.
I'm probably getting Epcot, yeah.
Universal.
Is it in Epcot? I'm sure Malaby will confirm. Hold on.
Why would you find it in Epcot or Universal?
Well, you've got London, haven't you? The Doctor Who always runs round, isn't it? You should have Sherlock stuff in there.
Was there any other news that people wanted to bring up? I mean, we haven't talked about the massive opening of Guardians.
Ooh.
Or is it massive? I don't know.
I think it's we talked, didn't we, Paul? Is it the fourth biggest Marvel opening?
Yeah. So it's done fairly well.
I mean,
It
has done really well in the fact that, I mean, it opened in America to 148 million, I think.
146.5, I think they totaled it at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was more than expected. I think the original Guardians opened up to just under 100 million. So I mean, obviously a big increase, and I think it's the Marvel's biggest sequel, other than was it Captain America 2? No.
Yeah.
Or Civil War? I can't. It was one of the Captain Americas.
Yeah, it'll be the second one. The second one was bigger, I think. I'm not sure. No, Civil War must have been bigger than Winter Soldier.
I'm sure they said. I'm sure I saw it was on Box Office Mojo. I'm sure I saw a thing that said that Captain America: Civil War opened 88% higher than the previous.
Yeah, it must
which
have done.
Is crazy in some ways, but then really Captain America 3 was just another Avengers film, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it, the comic was just called Civil War. It wasn't called Captain America Civil War.
No.
But do you think the new Spider-Man will do more business than Guardians 2?
No.
I think
Really?
it could be on a par. I would be shocked if it opened to less than 130 million. So
I think the Spider-Man people are hell-bent on imploding and killing themselves. They don't realise they're onto a good thing, and they're trying to grab the cash cow and run away with it. And I think you talk about that on Strike, don't you, Paul, this month's episode?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about the new Sony cinematic universe that looks like they're planning and what that means for Spider-Man in the future.
Well, the animated film that will be coming out a couple of years after as well, won't there?
Yeah, there's that, and then they've got 2 planned spin-offs as well.
Yeah, Venom's still on the cards, isn't it?
Yeah, Venom and a Black Cat and Silver Sable spin-off as well.
So they... Oh, sorry, Nick.
No, I was just going to say, like, with regards to spin-offs, right, I was sat with my friend the other day, the guy who I did the Guardians bonus pod with. Hi, Whitey, if you're listening. And we were talking about the upcoming Marvel films, because, obviously we both really love Guardians. And we're saying that, Thor could be quite good, and it's the first Thor film that I'm interested in seeing at the cinema. Not just because it'll be free for me, but because Thor I thought was alright, but Thor 2 I thought was quite dire. But obviously with the Hulk and the new direction, it looks quite fun. And then we looked at the list of upcoming Marvel films, and of course the next film after that is Black Panther. Can't believe Adam Sultana's back again. Now, Black Panther, Paul, you will know this. Am I right in it's opening late January or early February?
Yes, I believe so.
Which is the first time they've done that.
Yeah.
And we were trying to understand why. And I said, I think it's because they're not expecting it to be very big. I don't interested in the Black Panther character. I thought he did a reasonable job in Captain America, but I didn't think spin-off. You know what I mean? Like, it was like he was another addition to the team. In the same way that I don't think Hawkeye deserved a spin-off. I don't really necessarily think that Black Widow would deserve a spin-off. But yeah, I just wonder if they're shuffling it out there because they know it's not going to be a big hit.
Yeah, I think the problem they have as well is because they have so many films a year, a lot of them kind of run into each other's time in the box office. Like, you think Guardians will probably still be in the cinema when Spider-Man comes out?
Yeah, it will be because it's May now, isn't it? And Spider-Man comes out 4th of July?
Beginning of July. Yeah, Independence Day weekend.
Yeah. So Guardians will be out.
And I think that's the problem. People, they look at it and go, well, I'll go and see one or the other. And I think spreading it out might give it a bit of a better chance.
But see, the thing is, I take your point, but I know people that have talked about Guardians online that they're waiting to see it later this month or possibly next month because they don't want to go when it's busy.
Yeah.
Because it's very busy at the moment. So the thing is, the people that would do that wouldn't be going to see Spider-Man opening weekend because they clearly are not bothered about seeing it opening weekend. So yes, it's a crossover, but I don't really think it's going to impact on, they're going to step on each other's toes. They'll be out at the same time though, but that's it.
Yeah, and the other thing is you've got to look at Disney's whole slate. Because again, you've got Pirates coming out at the end of this month. And I think that they really are having to look at where they release things. Look at how well Beauty and the Beast did, being released out on its own.
True. True.
with no other films anywhere near it.
But then I think that was done for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the same when a Star Wars film comes out. You don't get big releases come out when a Star Wars film comes out, because there's almost no point. And also, the other thing that's quite interesting was, did you see the statistics for Guardians on the box office in terms of ticket sales? Because these are the stats for America, but 46% of ticket sales were 3D or IMAX, which is quite a bit higher than the average. And then they talked about across the world, right? Get this. In Germany, 80% of Guardians opening weekend ticket sales were for 3D. And in China, 99% of ticket sales were 3D.
I went and saw it in 3D only because that was the best time to go and see it.
Lose that as well.
But I wouldn't have picked that if I'd have had my choice. But you said that you enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh, I thought in IMAX 3D. So the thing is, I don't like to compare 3D and IMAX 3D because it's the same. It's a similar format, but it's not the same. And as I think I mentioned when I reviewed it, there were parts where the 3D broke the barriers because of it being in IMAX, which you won't get in the normal 3D showing because I don't have that breakout. Interestingly enough, though, you will get that on the home release. So on my Guardians 3D disc that I've got, it's reformatted in the IMAX style. So there are bits of the film where it will break out from the black bars.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the film will be full screen. So they reformat it for Blu-ray, but I know they don't do it for the 3D cinema release. But I just thought it was interesting that it seems to have 3D was dying for a long time, and now it seems to be picking up a bit of steam again, which is either good or bad news depending on where you sit. I don't just mean viewing the film, because that's also something to consider when seeing it in 3D.
Don't say it in the front row.
Never, if you ever go to see an IMAX film, never sit in about the first 8 rows. Anywhere.
God, no.
You will come out with a broken neck, with all the neck creaking you'll have to do. Right.
Can I ask a question to our resident Marvel expert?
Nick, over to you.
I'm going to pass it to Craig.
Fucking hell. Barrel scraped.
Yeah, Paul, I'm sure Paul will be able to answer this one.
Well, the question is Sony did a new deal with Disney to bring Spider-Man, etc., as we know.
Yep.
Now, when they did the deals years ago, these legacy deals that they did before Disney bought Marvel, has that completely dumped that original contract and it's completely new so they can do what they want? But
I don't believe so. I believe it was a negotiation for 4 movies.
So they still got to adhere to the original terms, which is these spin-offs and other things.
Yep.
And if they don't do them, then the characters get reverted back.
Yeah, I believe the deal was just for 2 Spider-Man films, and I'm not sure whether it's 2 or 3 Avengers movies.
Right.
I think
so. At the moment, he's not confirmed for the second part of the Avengers Infinity War films.
Blimey.
I think, and Paul, you can obviously correct me where I'm wrong, but I believe that the Sony contract was similar to the Fox contract in that they had a time frame to use the characters.
Yes.
And if they didn't use the characters in a certain time, the rights would revert back.
Yeah.
Which is why Ghost Rider's now back with Marvel, why Daredevil is back with Marvel. Now, on that note, the Watchers.
Yes.
A lot of people thought that they were tied into Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
They were clearly in Guardians, although not by name.
No, but they are credited as the Watchers.
Okay.
Stanley is credited as, spoiler, as the Watchers intern or something.
Spoiler.
Squishes! But it's the same deal that is with the twins, with Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. that they're shared.
Well, how do they do that? Because I never understood that one.
It's something to do with how they're used in the comics.
Right, okay.
That they've been members of both the X-Men universe and the Avengers universe.
Right. Okay.
Can I tell you something funny? I did a tour of the Walt Disney Studios in Burbank a few years ago, which is shut off to the public. And you know that big iconic building with the 7 dwarfs holding the roof up?
Mm-hmm.
Which is where Bob Iger and all the others sit. Next to it is this huge glass and concrete 1960s abomination looking building. It's massive, right? And that is just Disney's legal department.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bigger than the headquarters.
Jesus.
So I'm sure they got some pretty, big dicks in there.
Some big dicks on this. Some big dicks on this podcast, lad.
And Richards and other sorted names. No, it's good. Right, before we go to the next thing, the last thing we're going to talk about on this podcast, we've been eagerly anticipating this. So, Chris, have you got any good news for this episode?
What about Halloween Horror Nights?
Aye.
No, nothing.
We was hoping for an announcement.
I know. So's everybody. I probably get about 50 messages a day saying, "Where's the announcement?" I'm like, I don't control Universal. Yeah, and I don't control Universal Studios.
That's just from Universal.
So
Chris, what's
probably,
the next house?
Yeah, exactly. So it's got to be this week. It has to be.
Well, I mean, this is the latest, isn't it? That they've left announcing started to announce housing.
Well, I'm starting to worry something's gone wrong because we've had a whole month with nothing.
Mm.
Do you not think it is literally the unprecedentedness of the new water park opening?
Well, yeah, it probably is that, in all fairness. They got this media war with Disney. They're trying to promote their water park and Jimmy Fallon, and then everything else that they're doing as well, like Harry Potter. And then, obviously, Disney are doing their whole Avatar thing.
Because when's the Volcano Bay penciled in to open?
Isn't it the day Amanda flies home?
Yeah, I think so. And the two Disney properties officially open on the same day as each other, or a day apart, don't they? I think Breakout opens in California, and then 24 hours later, Avatar Land opens.
Mm.
So you've got all this turmoil and cock slapping going on, haven't you, at the minute? So maybe, I mean, this isn't a team of hundreds in the background, is it?
No, but the thing is, I'm fairly certain that the way they do their social media now is heavily planned in advance, whereas in the old days it used to be it's a bit quiet today, let's do an announcement. So, I think they have got so much to talk about that Halloween Horror Nights is on the back burner a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it'll be like the 61 bus. About 3 will come at once.
Well, I've had sort of information leaked to me that they're supposedly going to be selling the RIP tours next week. Again, just a rumour. I mean, it probably would be good to tie that in with a new house announcement. So, who knows? I mean, my money was on they should have done an announcement today, Tuesday, because Disney were going to do their earnings call.
If you were to, I know this is like for Universal After Dark, but if you were to buy an RIP ticket as an individual, how much would, on last year's prices, how much would that have set you back?
I don't have it to hand.
Was it like $200, $250?
Do you want me to Google it? Hang on.
Do you want me to put some music on? Some hold music?
No, just tell me to. Yeah, come on. Just do that. $159 starting price.
So that would be dependent on the night, time of year.
It would be, yeah.
So $159 starting price, and then entrance to you still need entrance as well, don't you?
Yes.
So you still need the park ticket on top, the Halloween Horror Nights ticket, and you don't need an express pass at that point, do you?
No. No.
So the only thing you're saving on is the express. Okay. Just getting things right in my head.
Things will never be right in your head, Craig.
Hello, Johnny.
God. I mean, the
Right. Gwed, what are we doing on this show then?
Oh, I should have been recording.
What have we done for the last 40 minutes?
Wishes.
Right. So, with that said, Craig put out a little thing earlier because it was the end of Wishes. We decided to, and as we said, it's been obviously long running. A lot of people got memories tied to it. So what we thought we'd do is we'd have a communal final viewing of Wishes. Not the final Wishes. We're recording it before it goes out. But we're gonna watch it. Craig, I'm sure we'll stick the link in the YouTube notes of the one that we're gonna actually watch, so you can kind of watch along with us if you want. And we'll do that in a second. But just before we do, and before we'll come to the comments after we've watched it. But I just thought I'd go around and ask people kind of what Wishes meant to them, or something that's is tied into these fireworks, because like I said, a lot of people do have memories attached to it. So does anybody in particular want to go first?
Let P-Dubs go first.
Let me point the finger at someone else to go first.
No, because I think you might have a few little facts about Wishes as well.
Yeah, there are a few little facts. It costs $33,000 a night.
Wow.
Jesus.
Which is just ridiculous. It's got something like 560 odd different firing triggers for the fireworks and over 600 individual pyrotechnics.
You would have thought by now they'd have got some kind of bulk discount, wouldn't you? 3,300 seems quite excessive. I didn't, I'm sure you can buy a few boxes of fireworks from Asda in November for less than that.
Yeah, and the guy that created it, Stephen Davison, has also gone on to create a heck of a lot of parades and nighttime shows, including Paint the Night, Dreams at Disneyland Paris. He's even worked on the shows in Tokyo and the new shows in Shanghai as well, and is now the executive producer of all parades and spectaculars for Disney.
Wow!
And that was one of his first jobs at Disney, was to create Wishes.
Wishes!
Wow.
So they're my little facts. They also include 16 songs, 15 of which come from 10 Disney classic movies. Yeah. They're my little facts.
Delayed reaction there.
His microphone.
Yeah. So my memories, I've only been to Florida twice, but both those times Wishes has been the show that's been on. So the first time was just after Christmas, so it just changed back from the holiday Wishes.
Holiday Wishes.
Holiday Wishes. So that was my first trip to Florida with my wife. So we watched that the first time. Last time I did actually see Holiday Wishes because I did the Very Merry Christmas Party. The last time I watched the main Wishes, I was on the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Oh.
Wow.
So they're my memories, and that kind of gives you a surround sound being on one of the rides in Fantasyland, because some of the fireworks actually come from behind Fantasyland. So it kind of gives you surround.
Oh wow!
So that was quite cool. So being on one of the mountains while the fireworks going off is I definitely recommend doing that. Yeah.
And was that intentional?
No, it wasn't. I'd actually booked it was the first night I was there. I didn't see it again after that. I only saw Holiday Wishes after that.
Holiday Wishes.
Facebook friends.
Friends. And I booked my fast passes before I'd gone, not even thinking about that. I managed to get fast passes for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train on my first night. I went in by myself because obviously Sam was only 18 months at that time, so they'd gone back to the hotel room and I'd gone and done my fast passes that evening after we'd landed. So it was completely unintentional. It just happened that I was on it as they started going.
Okay. Cool. Mr. Ripley, do you want to go next?
Well, I've got good times and bad times with Wishes. The good time was the first time I ever saw it, I got invited onto the Grand One, and we went and watched it on there. It was like a party of us basically, and during the day, strange fact for you, Peter Crouch had been renting the Grand One. There's a fun fact for you.
So sorry, what is that?
It's like a big boat that you can privately hire that sails around Seven Seas Lagoon.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's good. You have like cake and Bud Lights on there.
Was Crouch doing the robot? He's always doing the bloody robot, him.
He always was, yeah. So that's what footballers spend their money on. Literally floating around the Seven Seas Lagoon all day long. Anyway, so that was a good memory because they piped the music through and it was really good. And then a bad memory was the last time I saw that show, which was on the 45th anniversary of Magic Kingdom. And my partner, she got some of the fallout in her eye.
Oh, that was last year, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah, good and bad. I mean, I know it's been in the papers recently that they've got a bit of a drought in Florida, and they're quite worried about the fireworks because of having bushfires and things. So, there's been a few issues over the years, I think, with Wishes.
Bushes.
Oh, that's okay. A good mix of good and bad. Plague.
We seen it first in 2009, and that was with all the family. I think we went back in 2010 and did the dessert party, maybe. That's in the Noodle Terrace in Tomorrowland, and that's quite a nice experience. There was one year where I don't think we got to see it, and then on the last night of the holiday we were due to see it, and inclement weather come in and it got cancelled. And I can remember trying to comfort our Eve on the boat going back to the car. She's absolutely devastated. We've seen it on Pirates and Pals Firework Voyage. That was in 2015. We've booked that again for this year, and that's particularly good. You start in the contemporary, you go to a dessert party of sorts, you have ice cream and drinks and cake and whatnot. You meet Peter, no you don't, you meet Hook and Smee, and then two...
Sorry.
And Peter Crouch.
Yeah. Who's the first one you mentioned there, Craig?
Hook.
Hook with a can of Coke.
Yeah. You meet Hugh, then your Southern Jessies. You pair of Fuchers. And then two pirates come in and split the party in half, and you go down. Yeah, big massive one. And then they walk you down to the docks, and you go on two boats. And they do basically stand up, clean family stand up. Then you watch the fireworks from the boats. Then you come back, Peter Pan's waiting there for you. So you can meet and greet with Peter Pan.
Take you to Neverland.
Yeah.
I love Neverland.
To the Neverland Ranch, I should say.
I'm forever blowing bubbles. So,
where's my blanket?
Can I sleep in your bed? So, yeah. We've absolutely fantastic. The last time I seen Wishes with the family, we were in New Fantasyland, and it's it's a totally different experience because all the fireworks are staggered. So you need to be in front of the castle to get the full effect, really, because they all line up and everything. But in New Fantasyland, they were all over the show. So I had our Grace on my shoulders and was spinning round and turning round like that to see the fireworks. And we ended up laughing our heads off about it. That was the last time we seen it as a family. I seen it 2 years ago with Stuart. So that was the last time I officially seen it. So
did you give him a loving embrace?
I fingered his colon.
Not a semicolon.
No, I had a semi.
Honestly, dear listener, this the in-jokes in this show tonight are magnificent. Or as Craig would say,
The boss.
Majestic.
Yeah. I say lots of things.
I blame that fucking Bud Light.
which is why the Craig talking doll with 26 authentic Scouse phrases, including
what, Tickle Me Craig, you mean?
Yeah. Tickle me Scouser. So, you forgot to mention as well that Stuart spent Wishes watching on his phone. So that's been great for him. So I'm sure his memories will be fantastic. So my memories of Wishes, I've seen Wishes in person. I've seen it a few times, but there was 2 times in particular that stand out for me. So the first time I really remember seeing Wishes properly.
Wishes properly.
I think it may have been the second or third time on the trip that we'd done it, but this was the time that I really paid attention to it more than any other. And I was watching it with my then girlfriend, who was soon to become my ex-girlfriend, because after the Wishes fireworks had finished, I proposed to her in front of Cinderella's castle. So, and it's cracking. Like, I've got this really great, I managed to get this really great photo the moment that she opened up the box with, I didn't propose with the ring because the ring we got as an engagement ring was had great grandmothers, I think, and so I didn't want to take it out of the country in case I lost it. So I proposed with a love heart because she was obsessed with love heart sweets. So I had one of those in a special box, and that's how I proposed to her. It didn't say text me; it said marry me on it. And I've got this cracking picture as she opens it up and looks at me, and it's amazing. So I've always got that memory of it, and cast members come over to congratulate us and everything like that. I thought at the time, of course, that was quite a unique thing to do. I then found
so
out
that was edible, so she ate your ring that night.
Well, funny enough, because I didn't have an actual ring for her to wear, I bought a ring pop, which she did wear, and then promptly finished off once we got back. That was the first time. The second time... Sorry, that was the ring pop, not me. So the second best time I saw Wishes was on our honeymoon following that engagement, where we went to the California Grill, and I booked the California Grill knowing that the time we had our booking, we would be able to go out onto the private viewing area to watch Wishes, but she had no idea that this even existed, so it was a lovely surprise. And had any of you done that? Had any of you seen it from the California Grill at all?
Yes, I have. I've seen Hello Wishes from there.
Oh, right.
Hello Wishes!
So the fact that they pipe the music in and it's all in time, and you know, it's one of those things that Disney do so well, because like I say, they piped it in when you was on the boat, they pipe it in there. The Contemporary, if you watch it from one of the rooms in the Contemporary, they do the music in time on the TV. And the thing is, they obviously have to, you know, it's hard to synchronize because obviously sound and light travel at different times. So they have to be really particular of how they synchronize the music in time, because it's not obviously playing at the same time as it would do if you were standing in the park. So it's just those little touches that Disney do so well to make you feel that even if you're viewing it somewhere else, you're still seeing and hearing it as if you was right in front of the castle. So it's it's one of those great things. So with that said, get yourselves ready, because very, very shortly we are going to watch it all together. Right, so if you're all ready to go, let's play.
Oh, I can't believe I'm never going to see this again. Oh. You crying, Chris?
I am weeping.
I was going to take bets on who was going to go first.
Oh, why do
Chris.
that? It's going to be Craig.
Craig might be the first to jizz in his pants.
Whilst crying.
Yeah.
I literally have just.
It's a beautiful card to win it.
Wishes! It's the best.
Friends.
Look at that on the glowing ear hat as well. So do you reckon that the ear hats, they'll be able to get back to work with the new show, or they'll make everyone buy ear hats?
No, all the they've been a massive flop, I think, haven't they, worldwide, like, because basically they want everybody to have them. The price of the tickets, they should just incorporate them into the price of the tickets. So as you walk in, you get given one for free.
Wow! That's what you got to do when the fireworks go. Ooh. I mean, I heard in Disneyland Paris they turned them off in November of last year, I think.
Oh, there's little Tinkerbell. If you stand in the right place, you can see right up her skirt.
Or his skirt.
Oh, God. And they land, or it lands on top of the noodle station.
Yeah.
Now, behind the castle there, when we were in New Fantasyland watching it, there's vast swathes of the back of the castle all cordoned off for the fire, and they've got fire wardens patrolling in case there's any fires break out. So your Judy was dead lucky, Chris. Because she could have went up in flames.
She could have spontaneously combusted.
Yeah.
Oh, she remember a Spinal Tap?
The last time I went was just after the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train had been set on fire by one of them.
No way.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're literally shit off on it. Now, I think this new one looks, looking at it today, looks really good. But I think there's going to be 50% less fireworks and 100% more projection.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing, though.
I think it's going to be more. From what I've seen, there's a lot of smoke getting put out, and they're using the smoke to bounce the light off.
Right, can you turn yours down just a little bit?
Okay, turn it down a little bit.
I don't want our viewers to be cross-pollinated by wishes music.
There it is, down a bit. Okay.
I tell you what. If the fireworks cost $33,000 a night?
No, 3,300. So 3,300.
No, 33,000.
33,000.
33,000.
Yeah.
What do they charge the amount they do to get in the bloody park?
Exactly. I'm telling you now, there'll be half as many fireworks.
Yeah.
Well, the testing. Somebody said that there should be more fireworks, but I don't believe that.
Not 33,000 a night, there won't be.
No, they're cutting costs everywhere. This new show, I bet you, when there's inclement weather, that show will still continue without the fireworks.
Literally, I asked someone at Universal once, why did you close Jaws and build Harry Potter there? And they said to me, the main reason was it cost too much to run.
Yeah.
That was it. That was the only reason.
All the propane?
All the propane.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. When we were in Paris the other week, we seen the fireworks show and the spectacular and all that, whatever it's called. Can't remember again, Paul.
It was Dreams when we were there. No,
it was Dreams.
It was Dreams when Craig was there.
In February, yeah. Right. Now, on the first night we seen the fireworks. On the last night before we come home, the weather was a bit bad. So the show still happened, but without any fireworks. Totally different show. It was crap. But I think that's what the future's going to hold for this.
I disagree. I think I've seen Dreams when they've not done all the fireworks, and I think it's still a good show. It's not actually, you can't let it crap. I mean, you've seen Universal offerings.
I've never seen a Universal nighttime spectacular.
I mean, they're nothing. They're not a patch on what Disney do anywhere. Honestly, like, that to me is the disappointment. You'd have thought that they've done more, but maybe they didn't want to spend $33,000 a night.
What I do love is, when the hearts fire up, the way they can do that type of stuff. It's absolutely phenomenal, that.
I get really dragged in when I watch things like this, like when we did the Iron Man commentary on Strike. I sit here mesmerised.
Yeah. That was boss, that.
Well, the thing is, I've probably not seen this in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Recorded it on our last trip, but not really watched the footage anytime soon, not since the kids were. So, there's quite a bit of it I forgot. Like, it's got such a big beginning. I'm so used to, like we say, when you see something like Disney Dreams, it kicks off quite quickly. You get some fireworks, but the projection starts straight away, and I mean, this is stunning, though. I mean,
I think this is better than Illuminations.
I think Illuminations is very overrated, personally. I know people think it's the best show they do, but I think Wishes was far superior.
Little secret, I've never seen Illuminations.
Oh.
And I don't think I will. I think it'll be gone by the time I go back.
You never know. You can't change too much at once. People just... This Disney fan community just gets so angry.
That's the next part, though, that's going to get it, isn't it? So...
I think so. Probably right. And Illuminations has been going a long time as well. Craig, you said that, like, these ear hats have been a flop. This footage that we're watching, I can see nothing but ear hats.
I think this might have been a special screening and they might have been given away for free.
Right, okay, yeah.
Don't quote me on that, like.
Oh, look, there's the idiot filming it on his iPad. And in the bottom right-hand corner.
Yeah, I can see him.
That's Paul Dolan, that.
That's where we're going to get our footage from.
Yeah.
Paul Dolan recording it on an iPad for us.
Listen, D's not that inconsiderate. Besides, he uses an iPad mini.
He's not that tall either.
No, just you, mate. And also to an extent, Mr. Ripley. I think what they do, what's so great about these kind of shows is that, for the most part, the music will bring back memories as well. So it's not just a spectacle that you're watching on the castle, it's also those familiar songs from the films and your memories of watching those films, whether that's the first time or, with your kids or whatever, but there'll be memories associated with those songs as well. It all ties together so beautifully.
Yeah, all my fond memories of this is with the family, and some of the holidays has only been the 4 of us, but then some of the holidays has been like the 9 of us, and you've had a long, hard 10-hour slog in the park, and it's all worth it when you're standing here watching this, and you're with all your family members and everything like that, and you're all like look at each other and hold each other and light candles, and
and you look into the sky and think, blimey, that's a year's wages.
Yeah. Fucking hell it is, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see if this new one can trigger all this type of stuff. All the mythology that's grew up around this, like all this choir of children singing were all terminally ill kids, and they're all dead now.
Really? I didn't realise that.
That's a myth. It's fake. They weren't.
Oh.
Just a choir from down the road. But cast members have actually peddled that myth to make it, so you're watching this horrified, and you know, them poor kids. But it was all fake. Probably some of them are dead, like, because just like drug abuse and all that.
From being famous for singing on Disney.
Yeah.
Don't you know who I
Spectacular.
am? I was part of the choir for Wishes.
Exactly.
So, obviously, one person that we heard better go is actually dead, and that's Robin Williams. It was one of the last things that he worked on for Disney.
Was it?
What was?
Yeah.
So that's actual Robin Williams. It's not like a sound alike.
Yeah. No, it's him.
Sorry, for what?
Missed
Aladdin.
the genie bit.
What, Wishes?
Yeah, the genie's on here.
Yeah, but he recorded that years and years before. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but he didn't work for Disney again after that.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
He had a big spat with them, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, it was resolved by that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, in the 90s, yeah. After Aladdin came out, that's why he didn't do the first
Aladdin.
sequel.
Aladdin 2.
Aladdin 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Wishes! Wishes!
I think the good news is that because we're talking over it, Craig can't cry.
Because I'm with old men, I can't whinge. It was like when I was with Stuart, I couldn't whinge because I was standing next to a man. I was like that, beating my chest with my hand on my balls. But when I'm with the kids and the wives, oh, it's hard. Sobbing like a baby.
You're a Mormon or something. Wives.
Oh, I've literally got 3 wives. The wife, my sister-in-law, my mother-in-law.
I thought you were going to say me, Nick, and Chris.
My man wives.
No, we're the bitches.
Man wife.
We're the harem.
So there you go, yeah. Is yours finished as well?
No,
Not quite.
mine's got a little bit to go. I've got that minute to go. Well, I've just seen the Tina Turner firework, as I like to call it, because it looks like Tina Turner's hair. Wishes! It's going to be missed, but at the same time, I think with what they've done with Disney Dreams, with Disneyland Paris' Illuminations, with what's the one they do in California? Colour of the Night?
Yeah. Paint the Night.
Paint the Night. I think the technology's evolved now to a point where it's nice to be traditional, but it's really lacking that kind of projection mapping. I mean, the stuff with Disney Dreams at Disneyland Paris, for me, when they and you've obviously seen it, Craig, and you've just seen it, Paul, as well. Chris, I don't think you've seen Disney Dreams, have you?
No, I haven't. No.
And with the stuff to do the projection mapping, in a way that they make the castle disappear, collapse, and they turn it into firework turrets that all fire off and make it look like they've actually flown off the castle. That technology now has got to such a point that it's the future. And I love Wishes. It was nice to watch it again there, but I think when you look at the other shows they do at Disney castles around the world, it's probably time for a refresh. I'm interested to see how the music, like what they do with regards to scenes and what they do with regards to music with this new interpretation. What's it called, by the way?
Here Come the Monkeys.
Happily Ever After.
Happily Ever After, okay.
Yeah.
Which suggests it'll be very princess themed in that case, potentially. But yeah, I'd be interested to see if they use Cinderella's castle in the same way that they use Sleeping Beauty's castle, I think.
Should we read out what some of our listeners, we've actually got listeners, I've written. So I'll start. Lord Luke Rowe, I think he's got a screw loose, to be honest. In my opinion, the greatest fireworks spectacular in living memory was Bonfire Night 2016 in his house.
I wasn't there, so I can't comment.
Yeah. Is he one of your cronies, is he, Nick?
No. He's just a listener. But saying that, there's a very famous story that happened at Y2. His birthday is actually the 5th of November, and he had a fireworks party at his mum and dad's house where he still lived at the time 1 year, and his uncle was in charge of the fireworks, and at one point during the night he had like the through doors open from the living room into the garden, and I was sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden I heard "watch out," and this tiny rocket came flying through the doors under my legs and awoke my sleeping then girlfriend on the sofa as it exploded. Luckily, it was only a small little like bottle rocket type affair, so it didn't cause any kind of damage. Just made a very loud bang. But yeah, that's my memory of that.
Glad who's going to do Logan Seculo?
Go on, Chris. Let Chris do it.
Me? I haven't got nothing in front of me.
All right, well, whilst you get something in front of you, it's on the Dis After Dark Facebook page. I will go now. I haven't. The name looks a little bit familiar, but I'm not sure if. Or anyway, Lee B says he's a self-confessed Universal Orlando fanboy, but wishes.
No idea.
No, it kind of rings a bell, but he said wishes is something I would love to see a similar thing Universal. A great soundtrack, great fireworks, and gets you right in the feels. For people that don't know, the feels is your testicles.
From everything he said there, it sounds like he's got no ear.
He probably lost it in a fireworks accident.
And it's possibly from Darlington. Kind of sounds like that.
Yeah.
They're all weird from the northeast.
That is true.
We've got Ned Flanders' wife.
His name is Matt, and they are some of my best friends.
Oh, right, okay. So, Narlin Flanders, my now husband, proposed on the balcony at the California Grill. Oh, standing next to Nick. Shortly before I saw Wishes for the first time. I've seen it a few times since, and it still makes me tearful. I may also have the CD and commemorative Pandora bead.
What that is?
I don't know.
Interesting. Nice.
I've got it in front of me now.
Go on then, you do Logan.
Do you want me to do it in Logan's voice?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Though I'm very excited for a new show, Wishes will always be remembered. Sorry, I'm doing my Quincy impression again.
That's Columbo.
Wishes.
One more thing. Sorry, he's going to get mad at me. Though I'm very excited for a new show, Wishes will always be remembered as the show that my wife and I fell in love to. Fell in love to.
Fell in love at.
We got married in the fall of 2008 at Walt Disney World and started visiting together in 2005. I will always have a fond place in my heart for Wishes and will miss Jimmy Cricket reminding me, that was a comedian from the 80s, reminding me that the lights will be dimmed in 5 minutes' time.
I was going to say that. When you said that, I was like, wasn't he an Irish comic in the 80s?
Yeah.
It's Jimmy Cricket.
I got one more.
There's just one thing that bothers me. Oh, that's Columbo and Jiminy Cricket.
that sounded like, what's his name from Catchphrase?
Roy Walker.
Say what you see.
Right, I'll do Lisa Bell because she's my railway wife. She's me little... Yeah. Wishes to me means magical. She's Welsh as well. I remember the first... Oh, no, that's...
None of us are getting voiceover work from this.
I remember the first time watching it gave you goosebumps, shivers. She gets a little frog in her throat. It's utterly magical, whether you're 5, 35, or even 70, like her dad. He cried watching it, and it gives you unforgettable memories that'll last a lifetime. It stole her heart.
He died watching it.
No, he cried. He cried.
I thought it was a 70-year-old dad croaked watching Wishes.
Oh, Lisa, can I still have a cup of tea, girl?
Our favourite, well, certainly my favourite EMT driver Peter Pontecorvo. I think I've pronounced that right. I'm sorry, Pete, if I haven't.
That's the boss name now.
Oh,
Hello. My name's Peter Pontecorvo. When I'm not solving crimes in Zimbabwe, I like to run around Dublin drinking Guinness.
oh my God.
It's Sean Connery now.
Hang on, what impression? What was it Amanda said? Amanda said the other day about an impression, wondering if Craig will do an impression on the next show. And I said, I don't think Craig can do
Now
any
he's just
impression.
done his whole repertoire.
Not only has he done his whole repertoire, but I was correct, he can't do an accent to save his fucking life. Peter said, I'll miss it, but it's nothing compared to the level of distraught I'll be when Illuminations ends. And that's exactly what we were saying a few minutes before, that you get people that fall into one or two camps, either the Wishes camp or the Illuminations camp, and I was firmly in Wishes, but Illuminations has a massive fan base.
Who's going to do me sister-in-law?
Well, I was going to do Amanda, so...
Oh, go on then.
Well, hello.
I think Matt Corn's done Amanda.
This is getting a little bit too Brovision for my liking. I will...
Now then.
Where's my blanket? I will. In that case, I will do.
I'm in my happy place.
I will do Carla Taylor, but I won't do the accent because I won't insult her. I'm sure
She is Scouse.
Yeah, I know, but I don't. Scouse women are hard. I remember standing by the merry-go-round on our last night at Disney when we had taken our son for the first time. He was sat on his daddy's shoulders and both their mouths were just wide open in amazement as we all just looked up to the sky to watch the magic. It's amazing and doesn't matter how many times you get to watch it, it was like the first time watching it every time.
Oh, and it was. I was there.
You can vouch for it.
That was the one where we were all turning with the fireworks. It was quite funny. 9 people all head swiveling.
Like
Go on then. Who's going to do Amanda again?
I'll do Amanda.
Matt Corn.
look at I'll do Amanda. Yeah, it's such a punishment. Yeah.
I'll do Matt Corn, to be honest.
We would all do Matt Corn.
Amanda is not Mantis. She's not ugly. Oh.
On the inside. Wishes gets me emotional every single time. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm a firework crier. I'll never forget the first time I saw Tinkerbell fly. Wishes will always hold a special place in my heart, but I'm excited to see what Disney are going to do next. Love, Amanda.
Oh,
Age
we miss Amanda.
27.5.
Oh dear. Chris Bleakley.
Yep.
Oh, that's like a sentence. Chris Bleakley looked on. A truly magical experience, moved me to tears, and I'm not a guy who cries easily like me. Best watching it holding Casey's hot dog. Who's Casey?
With a Casey's hot dog. Casey's corner.
Oh, I thought he was holding Casey's hot dog.
Casey's hot dog.
We've got some in the secret group as well, haven't we?
Have we really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a couple.
One of them's dead long. That's for Nick to read out. Jed Penner. Jed Penner always gets me hungry because that sounds like a pasta dish.
Sultana's back.
Right. Let me.
Right, I'll do Jed's then. So, Jed Penner writes, so many good memories, and since I dislike being in the centre of the crowd, most of mine come at odd times. If we're going to watch it, our goal is normally to stay away from the crowd and linger in the park until the exorcist dies down. Here we go. The time in, I think, 2012, my son and I were on Splash Mountain and came to an outside part, hearing and seeing the fireworks really sticks in my mind. So that kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, Paul. About being on a mountain when it comes. The time I did brave the crowds with my son and daughter to watch the Christmas holiday wishes together in the front, seeing the cars will light up at the perimeter fireworks.
the time at Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, catching Hello Wishes while trick-or-treating down the back path behind Dumbo on the way to Space Mountain, just pulling to the side of the path and pausing to be in awe of the perimeter of fireworks, then back to the candy, of course. The time my wife and I stayed at the Contemporary on our anniversary for a night, and he got free magical upgrade to Parkside, the lucky git, and just sat out on the balcony sipping wine, holding hands.
Whoa!
It's long, all right? Sipping wine, holding hands, and watching Holiday Wishes from an amazing view while the music played in the room. And the last time I caught Wishes with my daughter the other week, we got a nice open spot in Tomorrowland at some tables overlooking the Speedway, just enjoying the fireworks together. Along with those priceless memories are many more hearing Wishes behind me because I'm exiting the park before it ends, catching the fireworks on the tram to my car, or in the parking lot, driving out, realising just how close I came to utter chaos.
Oh.
Cheers, Jed.
Yeah, I want garlic on my Jed penny. Garlic and their chilli.
You gonna do Brian?
I've done Brian. We've all done Brian Rose. That's Brian Rose. No? Okay. I've been really blessed to see Wishes from staying around the monorail loop. I know many prefer viewing the fireworks from Main Street, USA, or around the hub, but my favourite viewing spot is from the Contemporary Resort. Regardless if you have seen Wishes once or you've been there several times, there's just something about that soundtrack. I'm not afraid to admit that Wishes has brought tears to my eyes. Wishes will be missed, but I'm looking forward to Happily Ever After. Love you all. We love you
too.
We love you, Brian.
I love you, Brian.
Release Warwick.
So random. And finally, Stephen Lynn, who said, my fondest memory of Wishes is from 2008. We got married on Coca Beach and then spent the evening in Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom. Wishes is the perfect end to a very magical day. We will miss it when we next visit, but I'm confident its replacement will be just as spectacular. And I don't think... we timed that quite well, actually, because I don't think there's a better quote we could have left it on. I think that sums it up really well, that it's not forgetting that Wishes ever happened. We'll always have Wishes, and thanks to things like YouTube just there, we'll always be able to go and see those kind of things and relive those memories. But, no, it's time for Disney to do something new, and yeah, I think we should look forward rather than...
We got one more just in.
Oh.
Yeah, from Daniel Pope. My stepmom thinks you're cute, and she also hates pinheads and liberals. Sometimes I pretend you're my real dad.
I wonder who that's to.
Well, it's you said on Twitter to use the hashtag #DadWishes. And there's a lot of people wishing about their dads right now.
Well, I think me and Craig are two people that probably aren't. So, on that note, I think we've probably hit our quota for tonight. But thank you, dear listener, for staying with us. I hope you made it this far into the show.
Wishes!
We wishes you come back to us next episode.
Well, we are, Chris. Yeah. Breaking news, Universal Orlando has replied to my question on Twitter about Doctor Who merchandise.
Ooh.
Doctor Who merchandise can be found at Cyber Image, which is located right next to Terminator 2 3D. And on that bombshell.
There you go. So for all those people wondering...
Craig's wish came true.
Oh, if only all our wishes come true. But thank you. I was hoping when you said Universal Orlando, it's going to be a haunted house. But thank you for sticking with us this far. Please, if you don't already, subscribe to this and Universal After Dark and Pop After Dark and S.T.R.I.K.E, all members of the After Dark Podcast Network. If you do subscribe to already, if you do subscribe to those already, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. Bumps our figures for some strange reason, but always remember to resubscribe.
If you want to contact us on Facebook, we're in the usual places, facebook.com/Dis After Dark, Unofficial Dad's Army, if you can find us. Twitter @Dis After Dark, @Universe After Dark, @Pop After Dark. Say hello. We love to speak to our fans. And
Someone's just shit themselves there.
what? Because I plugged everything for once.
No, there was like this little tiny.
Nick.
Yeah, honestly, I'll promise in future I will own up when I make such an adjustment, but that has not.
You didn't on the last episode.
That's what I'm saying. Going forward, Adam took the blame, and I'm not internally grateful, but I'm pleased he did. Let's do it that way.
He took the shitty end of the stick. Good lad, Adam.
And thank you very much. When's the next Universal After Dark? Are we on hiatus while Amanda's away?
Don't know. We might do one tomorrow or something.
When they make the announcement for the next Halloween Horror Nights.
There you go. We'll be back when there's something to talk about. There you go.
See you in January.
So good night, John Boy.
Good night, John Boy.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Bye.
We hope you've enjoyed this podcast. If you would like to support Dis After Dark and the other After Dark Network podcasts, please visit our website at www.patreon.com/Dis After Dark. That's patreon.com/Dis After Dark. Thank you. This podcast is part of the After Dark Podcast.